I'm joined by tonight's roundtable. David Corn, he's Washington Bureau Chief for Mother Jones and an MSNBC political analyst. Zerlina Maxwell is a contributor to Essence magazine, and Matt Schlapp is a Republican strategist. What did you make of the comment? Were you as put off as I was?
Well, I thought it was
no class.
I thought your word was correct, Crystal. I hate to agree with you, but it was cheap. It was just a cheap shot. And the thing is, it comes on the same day in which he's appearing, with John Kerry, the Senate Foreign Relations Committee, talking about the Iran deal, and Marco Rubio is making this charge that because of the Iran deal, the U.S. will now be obligated. They will be forced to defend Iran from any attack on its nuclear facilities. PolitiFact called this completely false. This is a right-wing talking point.
You mean we're going to fight Israel?
We're going to fight Israel. That was his argument in all seriousness. So he's out there. If he wants to have a classy debate about the Iran deal, this is not the way to do it. So he is just playing to the
farthest
party
hawkish
base.
Point of view. It's hawkish too. His big supporters are a bit hawkish too, I assume.
Yeah.
Don't you think?
Oh yeah, and I also think the idea that the president has no class or that he has been divisive when Mitch McConnell in the beginning of the presidency said out loud, "We are going to try to block the president." I just think that doesn't ring true.
Well, you can be divisive and still have class like me. Anyway, yesterday Senator Rubio said he was referring to President Obama's demonizing of political opponents when he said he had no class, but that's not what he originally said. The slur came up, actually, in the context of Donald Trump's presidential campaign and why Trump shouldn't be elected, he said.
We already have a president now that has no class. I mean, we have a president now that, does selfie stick videos, that invites YouTube stars there, people that eat cereal out of a bathtub, that accuses you just saw the interview he did right now where he goes on comedy shows to talk about something as serious as Iran. The list goes on and on. It is important for us to have a presidency that restores dignity and class to the White House.
So he's going there on Fox and Friends to talk about you shouldn't go on fun shows. I mean, Fox and Friends is a good, pleasant way to start the day, but, it's not, the highest possible level of journalistic insight. Your thoughts?
I liked Marco Rubio's second answer. I think let's keep it on the politics. David brings up the Iran deal. This is what we all should be talking about. We've got some serious issues that our country is facing. And, when I think about the invectives that get thrown out in politics, I go back to 2008 with the Obama, Bill Clinton, and Hillary Clinton. She said, Barack Obama is running a campaign out of the Karl Rove book. She called it deceptive. She went after him pretty hard. So we shouldn't have a double standard. There should be
my standard is this. It's referring to someone's background or their character. You got to be very careful about that stuff.
I agree.
Because you got to wrong tracks kind of thing. There's something base about the guy. It does get ethnic, and not always, but there's a sort of playing to that crowd who are ethnic.
But he is playing to a crowd that has believed from the beginning that Barack Obama is not a legitimate president. That because of his birth, because of his secret socialism, Muslim views, whatever it may be, this is a significant part of his Republican base.
But that's too far,
he does have a certain situation there.
That's too far, too. Look, let's not go there. They have a disagreement with him on all these policies. They think he's a political left-winger and a radical. That's fair. They should be able to go there.
Yeah,
but you shouldn't question their character.
But not to say that he's illegitimate, that he doesn't believe in America.
He's not saying the base. I'm talking about the people in the audience.
Right.
I know, like the woman who says he's an Arab and stuff like that. A lot of them are out in the audience. They're not candidates, but the candidates know how to talk to them. They talk to that rabble out there that hates him because what he looks like, what his name is, and the whole deal.
And that's true on both sides.
Well, we call it dog whistles,
what ethnic charges have the Republicans have the Democrats made?
You don't
ethnic crowd?
You don't think there's any Democrats that make charges that go too far?
No, on ethnicity and background?
Absolutely.
Like where?
We didn't
how about the mailings that Barack Obama sent out from his campaign about the Mormonism of Mitt Romney? What about those? Did we ever criticize those?
I didn't even know about them.
I didn't know about those either.
They talked that Obama was a good Christian family man, and the message was clear, which is he's running against a guy that maybe isn't.
I don't even recall that. I do remember the birth certificate, though.
Anyway,
we didn't ask any of the other presidents for that.
There was the whole birth thing that went on for quite a while.
Yeah.
I started in politics with an LDS guy, both of them, Frank Moss and Wayne Owens. I'm with them, okay? Anyway, next up, and they're all liberal Democrats. Anyway, strange video. Here's Mike Huckabee's campaign posted to its Vine site. It's a twisted mashup of a beloved classic Disney movie and nuclear annihilation. Let's take a look here. Hakuna Matata. Yes. What
You just talked about power debates.
The class act. Now they are accusing the president and John Kerry, you know, and Jack Lew and all the rest to try to negotiate a difficult deal. It's a good debate, whether it's good or bad for us. But was that a Kuna Matata?
It was.
Were they whistling during this thing and enjoying themselves? Okay, tell me why.
Don't worry, Chris. And look, the Huckabee campaign's trying to use one of these new online tactics, and they threw out a video.
Who's saying don't worry?
He's saying that the John Kerry and Barack Obama.
That's why they spent weeks and months and years trying to put together a deal.
When you hear that this means that Iran will actually now get closer to a nuclear weapon,
it won't.
They're saying exactly. So David agrees that we shouldn't worry.
No,
I think we shouldn't.
No, wait a second.
I'm worried when people who are running for president are using cartoon ads when they're talking about nuclear weapons. I'm worried about that.
This is Lou Schwartz all over again. You know it. This is the.
But what I want to know is this classy? Is this a classic?
I'm not 25 years old. I don't know how this works with them.
You talked about having a good policy. You just talked about having a good policy debate over this issue. Is this how you do it?
It has the
blowing up Disney characters.
The advantage of sending Obama over to Africa, and the very week he's in Africa. I don't think it's serious, but it just happens to be a coincidence. The roundtable's staying with us, and up next, Republicans are pushing the idea that Donald Trump is being. The insiders are trying to push that. Talk about wishful thinking. Oh, he'll be going away in a couple weeks. Did they predict 3 weeks ago he's going to be where he is now? No. Don't listen to the predictors. We don't know how long Trump's going to fly up there. This is Hardball. Place your. We are back with the roundtable. David, Zerlina, and Matt. Well, Donald Trump has one gear: attack. He's made the press a prime focus of that campaign. Let's watch him.
The Pew Research, which is independent, says...
Don't be naive. You're a very naive person.
The Pew Research says that there are, for immigrants on the whole,
Come on, try getting it out. Try getting it out.
I'll get it out.
I mean, I don't know if you're going to put this on television, but you don't even know what you're talking about. You keep bringing up negative. You only want to talk about negative. Why don't you bring up the positive?
Well, I did.
I mean, you start off. Excuse me. Let me tell you, the people don't trust you, and the people don't trust the media.
That's a typical case of the press with misinterpretation. They take a half a sentence. They take a half a sentence. By the way, they take a half a sentence, and they take a quarter of a sentence, they put it all together. It's a typical thing, and you're with Telemundo, and Telemundo should be ashamed. I want to thank you. No, you're finished. You've obviously been proven to finish.
Are you suggesting that John McCain did something to lead to his capture?
No, of course not.
Why would you say what you said? Any other questions?
Go back to being a
You had Casey Hunt there, who never reports accurately, by the way, and you had Katie Tur. No, it's true. You had Katie Tur, and they didn't explain what took place there, because that was a happening yesterday in Laredo. That was absolutely a happening.
I don't know where you go with that. I want to start with you.
No, I just think that, I mean, he's driving the clown car. You're right about that. But I think that you're also right that this is going to last and last, because what he is saying resonates with some part of a significant portion of the Republican base. And he's leading in the polls, and no one predicted that. This harkens back to 2012 when Herman Cain led at a certain point. I think there are certain people in the Republican base who are dissatisfied
How about just
with
simple
this
human levity? And simple human, obviously, I like a lot of people he's attacking, but they're not getting hurt by it. It's a kind of it's entertaining. It's how would you listen to that as some mush mouth on the Republican side who's saying nothing.
But it's not. It's beyond entertaining.
I guess we can talk about infrastructure, which I believe in, but it's not entertaining.
No, it's not. And I do think 1 out of 4, 1 out of 5, 1 out of 6 Republicans.
So it takes now.
I know they want a ventor in chief.
Yeah.
They still are really upset about Obama becoming president. They feel that they've lost control of the country, mad as hell, not going to take it anymore. And it doesn't matter what Donald Trump says. It doesn't matter.
It does matter.
No,
I think you're underestimating.
It doesn't matter.
He's hitting targets.
No, it doesn't matter whether they agree fully with what he says.
Look,
it's how he says it, and he's taking on everybody.
Help me out here, Matt. He's attacking the media.
That's right.
And who hates the media most? The conservatives do most. That's why they like Fox and the underwater walrus was on at noontime on radio. They hate the liberal media.
It's not just that. He is also going after other people, even in his own party, like John McCain and Lindsey Graham, who are not fan favorites of conservatives. He went after the Des Moines Register.
They've been around forever, and they haven't changed the world.
The people that are doing well in the Republican nominating process are running against in D.C. They think it's broken. They're tired
When
of
does that
hearing
not
from these
work?
people.
Yeah.
That
Well, it's
always works.
Well, it's particularly working now. Ronald Reagan did an effective job of doing it as well. And by the way, I think Bernie Sanders is doing that on the other side, too. He's basically looking at Hillary
Are you going to
Clinton.
start doing what Ted Cruz did here last night? Are you going to start the buildup of Bernie?
Let me
the
just
right-wing buildup of
you
Bernie.
can't
You guys are
They love
all
Bernie. They love Bernie.
Wait a minute. Aren't you doing a little buildup of Donald Trump?
Oh,
he's in
leading
first
in
place.
polls.
There we go.
He's at 20.
He's legitimate, isn't he? Here we go.
Here's some sort of
Bernie
political
Sanders is
operative. Anyway,
far, far
thank you,
behind.
David Corn.
Right.
Thank you, Zelina Maxwell and Matt Schlapp.